And welcome to the Ring Weekly Catch-Up. Here we are, I'm Fat Nige, and this is Jack 13 Morris, and we're here to talk to you about the fights that have been, the fights that are to come, and all points in between. But first off, let's go back to last weekend, Jack. The Golovkin fight, the Nicholas Walters fight. First off, Golovkin, you know, once more, stunning result. What's your feelings?
Yeah, my feelings is that I think that there's no one at middleweight that's going to actually give him any trouble. I think one of the guys who was commentating was asking him, when are you going to fight elite fighters? The fact is, it's not about him. It's the elite fighters that want to fight him. Yeah. You know, there's rumour about him going down. There's rumour about him going up. But I mean, he's taking guys out with such ease. I mean, he's a very, very special talent.
And what's your feeling about the weights? Because wasn't there a weight discrepancy this week with the boxers? Like I say, was it Rubio slightly heavier than probably what was looked upon?
I wouldn't look too much into that. I mean, the thing is with Golovkin, I believe he can go down. Yeah. He reckons there's enough space in his body to go down and go up. The fact of the matter is, I don't see anyone definitely not touching him at light middle. Super middle, you know, it'd be a great fight with our very own Carl Froch.
Interesting, very interesting. I mean, I suppose from our standpoint here with Froch talking about no to go fight, obviously we'll see about that in due course. But is that a good match for Froch? Is that a good match for Golovkin?
Do you know what? I know Golovkin seems like, I just said that he's pretty invincible at the moment, but I think if anyone's going to give him trouble, I think it could be Carl Froch being a slightly bigger man, and you know he can take a decent shot, and he can certainly give one out. So that's a fight I would really like to see.
Yeah, well, I think, like I said, you know, in the light of the way things maybe are panning out for Carl at the moment, I'm pretty sure fight fans over here would definitely love to see a fight of that magnitude, and again, you know, the aura that sits around Golovkin. You know, who do you make favourite for that fight? Are you convinced Coyle wins that fight?
I think it's an even fight. I think you'll have a lot of people from the UK fly to Vegas for that. Froch wants to fight in Vegas. I think that's a natural match. If the promoters can get together, I mean, that is a match that Froch could end his career on. You know, and come out of it with win, lose, or draw. He can come out of it with his head held high after what he's done.
It's almost ultimate legacy then for Carl, you know. And well, let's hope, like I say, that Carl does get the match that he's looking for, and like I say, one that cements him, like I say, fully into the history of the boxing here that you know, we've seen for, like I say, number of years now. And like I said, you know, he's never ducked anybody. But you know, talking about ducking and stuff like that, who are the guys that you feel that are maybe on the run from Golovkin? I mean, Cotto obviously springs to mind.
Yeah, Cotto, if I was Cotto, I wouldn't. He's not a big light middle. Mm-hmm. You know, again, I don't think Canelo Alvarez is at all interested in that fight. To be brutally honest, there's no one at light middle. There's no one at middle. It's going to have to be super middle, isn't it? Really? Yeah. Despite what I said earlier.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's that, and of course, like I say, I suppose Floyd Mayweather, is that a fight that Floyd Mayweather even considers?
He won't consider that, no. And then if he did, he'll end up boiling Golovkin down to a weight and making him stay that weight on fight day, and it'd be a bit similar to the Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao thing. Yeah, doing one weight. So.
Yeah. And I suppose, you know, that brings us on to the next fight, like I say, from last weekend. One that, like I say, Nicholas Walters. Once more, like I say, again, coming through relatively easily, would you say? Yeah,
6-round KO of Nonito Donaire, which, you know, even up to a year ago, you know, seen as one of the top pound for pound fighters. Nicholas Walters, to be honest with you, I hadn't heard too much of him until around about a year ago. But he's just big, he's strong at the weight. He's a decent enough boxer, and he hits extremely hard. It's difficult to see where Donaire goes from here, but I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of Nicholas Walters.
Yeah. It's interesting. You know, one of the things that you just say there, talking about strength and stuff like that, people that hit hard. You know, is there, in your opinion, is there a new you know. I mean, in the past, I suppose, especially, I guess, in this country here, take away Adam Booth, and a lot of the training methods are sort of like for fitness, yeah? You know, you look at some of these guys now, they're strong, they punch really hard. You know, are these guys specialist one-punch finishers? You know, I'm talking Golovkin now, and I'm talking, like I say, Nicholas Walters. You know, is that a trend that's going to continue? And
yeah, I mean, you got to look at Golovkin. He had a great amateur record career. I think what he does though, he refines the basics very well. He doesn't do anything too flashy. I mean, it's like anything you do. If you do the basics well, you're going to go a long, long way. If you do the basics well and you can punch hard in boxing, you know, as I say, like Golovkin, it's do whatever he really wants to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's face it, you know about strength, you know about conditioning, you punch quite hard. So, again, you know, I'm going to put you into that little mix there, you know, with these guys that are maybe learning one or two things a little bit differently about training methods. And while we talk about training methods, it's not a bad time to look at something maybe nutritional to help your training. It's me, Fat Nige. I've got one thing to say to you lot, hormones. And I'm not talking about estrogen, and I'm not talking about testosterone. I'm talking about insulin. Now, insulin does things in three ways. It takes the sugar away from the blood, puts it in your muscles. It puts what's left into your liver, and if there's any left after that, you've guessed it, it's going to convert it into fat. Don't rely purely on the white rice and the pasta. Integrate some vegetables into that diet. You've got all the fibre you need. We've got our trace elements in there too, and we've got the slow release sugars. So important when we're training. Don't let that insulin spike. It's not a good thing. Thank you for listening. I've been Fat Nige.
Fat Nige, you've got a nutrition tip from Fat Nige.
Well, there we are. Another nutritional tip from Fat Nige. Yeah? He's quite good. I like him. What do you think, Andy?
Oh, he's brilliant.
I think so too. Yeah, beautiful. Very good with his mother. Never goes home. Okay, that brings us nicely on to the next set of fights. So, Katsidis back in action this week, Andy. What's your feelings to is it Katsidis and Tommy Coyle?
Yeah, feelings are it's a dangerous fight for Tommy Coyle. Very dangerous. He keeps tweeting about, you know, this is going to be like a world war. You know, if it's a war, the last person who wants to be going to war against is Michael Katsidis.
Yeah.
Having said that, if he uses his boxing brain and he moves his feet and he stays on the move, Katsidis is, you know, he's seen better days. But, you know, I've got a funny feeling being at home in front of the whole fans, Tommy Coyle might just, you know, let it get on top of him and end up in a war.
Well, it's different pressure, of course, you know, because I guess sometimes being the favourite at home can actually bring different kinds of pressure. I think he's one of those who will. I don't think him fighting at home is necessarily a good thing for him. You know, I'm just smiling as you said that because I don't know whether you see the last fight of Tommy Coyle. It was up and down, up and down, up and down, and that was due, I think, to the enormous crowd. Yeah. Kind of, you know, you've got to rally your fighter, but it's he seems one to kind of like let it all get to him. Yeah. Nonetheless, a very, very good fight. Well, like I said, you know, pressures, like I said, you know, are things that boxers have to deal with, and you know, again, talking about dealing with somebody that's come through some sort of like dark days himself, Derry Matthews, boxing again this week. What's your feelings about his fight with, was it Spader?
No, Dingsdale.
Dingsdale. We'll have a go at Dingsdale.
You'll have to move up a couple of weights for Sparta. He's one of those. He's been through a few wars. He's he's battle hardened, but he seems to like, you know, after one fight you think he's shot, then he comes and gives a decent performance. Dingsdale was reasonably untested, very good boxer. But again, I think it might be a little bit too much too soon for Adam Dingsdale against Derry Matthews. I expect Derry Matthews to come through quite comfortably.
And of course, like I say, Matthews has always been a nice boxer, like you say. So are you expecting a good boxing match there, or are you expecting a short night for one of them?
I'm kind of expecting Derry Matthews to kind of finish the fight sort of mid to late rounds, just with his experience, and you know, he hits pretty hard as well.
Yeah. And I suppose bringing us on to sort of like Spader, who we are going to talk about now with what's his name, Martin Murray there. So where do you see that ending up?
That's a Martin Murray win all day long. I don't know whether it be points or a mid to late round stoppage again. I mean, Dominic Spada, he'd been over against Darren Barker. I think that was at the Olympia, I think.
It was Olympia.
Yeah, which Barker sort of handled him comfortably a few years back. So I see Martin Murray, you know, having a comfortable night. It's just where is his career going at the moment? He's having a lot of these fights that are kind of European sort of. I wouldn't say domestic because obviously it's an international opponent, but it's fringing around this like midsection, you know.
I mean, that was one of my next questions. You know, where is Martin Murray now? Because he's had some fantastic results, and not just results, you know, domestically. He's travelled and got results as well.
Yeah, I mean, the notable fight is against Sergio Martinez, where you know I think most people thought that he'd nicked it. You know, but you'd kind of expect his career to really kind of rocket then, you know, to be in these big fights, and it really hasn't. He's changed promotional groups, and you know, we have to wait and see.
Okay, so you're Martin Murray's manager. Who do you want Martin Murray to see? Who would you like to see the fight, a marquee fight for him over here?
I think you've got to be looking at Billy Joe Saunders. You've got to be looking at Matt Klings. It's all over here. That's, you know, the next level from the Dominic Spadas, and then move on to a world title.
Okay, I noticed you didn't put Eubank Jr. in that. Is there sort of like somewhere where they're Billy Joe and Eubank? Is that a fight then that Martin Murray takes the loser of or the winner of?
Either or, I think. Yeah. I mean, again.
So everybody has a place to go.
Everyone has a place to go.
Excellent stuff. Okay, well, moving right along, I think it's about time that we came across, met a young lady. She's the Eastern Bloc Bimbo. But before we do, here's the question. And I think the question of the week is this. Can you name the captain of the City Boxer boxing team? Now, I'll give you a clue. He's quite good looking, so that rules out me. Yeah, even though I was offered a world title fight, as everybody now knows.
He's not fat either.
He's not fat either, no. But the captain of the City Boxer boxing team here, based at the ring, if you can name him, you can win what this young lady's wearing right now. It's the Eastern Bloc Bimbo.
Hello everybody, I'm from the Eastern Bloc. This week's competition winner will win this classic ring t-shirt. It's got official ring logo on the back. It looks great on, but you're naughty man. It looks even better off.